There's no opinion allowed in mathematics. There's no, like people say today, I've got my truth and you got your truth. That doesn't work in mathematics. But a cult does not respect truth. It happens when people give unquestioned authority and power to any imperfect human. It's like Jesus said, the blind leading the blind. The imperfect person should never get that kind of power. Colossians 2:8 talks about how ones make others captive by empty philosophy, false teachings. It's imprisonment, whereas truth is freedom. So depending on how much truth you have will depend on how much freedom you have. And so when people are in this situation, they find themselves in a world where what's real is determined not by reality, it's about whatever that cult leader says. When the cult leader says, no, that 4 plus 4, that equals 10 now. Or they'll say 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1. See, no longer is the answer, which is what the cult leader says. For instance, with MAGA, they keep saying 2020 was a stolen election. All the evidence, all the tabulations show that that's a lie. But because their cult leader says it was a stolen election, they believe it, regardless. Look at the Catholic Church. Their Pope promoted Trinity. They believe it no matter what. It's not in the Bible. It doesn't matter. Pope is a cult leader. They should do whatever he says. Islam, their cult leader. They do what he says. I'm glad I'm away from the Watchtower because it's a cult. They're not going to believe something unless their cult leaders, the governing body, tells them. I can show them the math. I can show them 4 plus 4 is 8, but that governing body can say it's 10, and they'll believe it. I can show them in Daniel 4:22. God says the tree is you, O king. No. Or what our cult leaders say. They say that tree is God's kingdom, so they believe it, whatever. Now, if their cult leaders come back and say, no, we got that wrong, then they'll believe it. Other than that, they're not going to believe it. So they put God's word below the words of humans. What happens in these cults is people being told what they want to hear. Their ears have been tickled, and they don't want to stop that ear tickling going on. So they don't want to deal with the reality. As long as they stick to their cult leader, that's their reality. And it makes them feel like they're special. They're better than others. One day that bubble will burst because the truth cannot be hidden. Jesus said nothing will be hidden. That truth is going to come out. You're always foolish when you believe an imperfect human, whatever they say, and you don't fact check and see if it's reality. If you don't look and see in the Bible if it's true, you're going to be made a fool of. There are many humans out there seeking for that power. They want the authority to be able to say anything to anyone else, and they'll believe it, and they get that power. Once they get that power, they get that money too. And so they profiteer off that. They live good. And these groups, they don't have love. You can't possibly be in a group like that and have love, because it's about what your cult leader is saying. And instead of having mercy for those who have doubts, they have disfellowshipping and removal because they dare contradict what their cult leader says. And that's the only way they can go, because they don't have the truth. They can't prove to you that your doubts are wrong because they're not speaking the truth. They're speaking what their cult leader is saying. You never want to be in any cult, any situation where an imperfect human is getting unquestioned authority. That's a dangerous situation to be in. You don't want to get entangled at all. Stay free. Be free. by being lovers of truth.